Thanksgiving is officially over. It is Christmas time. Speaking of Christmas, the Bucs are going to need a Christmas miracle to make the playoffs. We got lots of other football on tap. Rest in peace to the guy who played Darth Vader. I'm sorry that your long weekend is over. Tomorrow is back to reality, but first, end your weekend the right way. I am beloved with the Pooh Bear, the Chief, and today a special guest, Javi the Entertainer. This is the main event.
I know who it is. That's a Buccaneer fan.
That is definitely a Buccaneer fan.
I'm taking it back to the 80s, baby.
Oh, my gosh. So good.
Wow, that is great.
I like how the eye holes are positioned like some sort of alien.
Oh, my gosh.
That speaks volumes, though.
Hey, we have a special guest on the show today. You know him from our NFL Draft Day special.
And Steak Day.
From the 4th of July Steak Day. I know him as the guy who hit 6 houses on the golf course yesterday. This guy, the only guy I know that's a season ticket holder to the Buccaneers. Let's bring executive chef Javi Vasquez into the show.
There he is.
What's up? Holla at your boys.
There he is.
In the house.
Javier, my man. How you doing, buddy?
I believe he's frozen.
Big intro, and this is what he comes in with.
He's frozen.
All right, so
or is he frozen?
He looks to be frozen. So Javi's got plenty of Buccaneer backlash and fan outrage that he is going to share with us. Obviously, we're having some technical difficulties. We had him on the green screen. Everything seemed to be working just fine, but looks like he's going to have to try again real quick.
While we're waiting on Javi to come back, where do you guys want to start? Do we want to even talk about Monday night?
I came in.
This is what I talk about what we just saw.
I came in with a paper bag on my head. I mean, I'm embarrassed. I'm done. I'm not done.
You're done. You know what I mean. Wait a minute.
You know what I mean. I'm not done, but you know what I mean.
Listen.
Show of hands. How many of you actually expected the Bucs to win today?
I expected a better showing, a better attempt.
We only lost by 3.
Well, okay. The first quarter, 17-0. All right. So there was. That was what was bad. It looks like Javi's trying again here. I'm gonna give him an ad here. Boom, he is mobile. He's walking around the house looking for a better way to cook brisket. I don't doubt it.
I listen. I've never had anything that guy's cooked that
nothing
was good. So
not a thing that he's ever made that I didn't like.
And he's promised us a hot dog bar. So I'm pretty excited about that.
I love a good hot dog. Just make sure they're all beef hot dogs. Don't bring any of that.
He's not going to cut
chicken, pork, whatever.
Hold on. All right, good.
Who you telling to hold on, huh?
My wife. I've got people walking behind me that don't want to be on screen. So. All right, there we go.
So, where do you guys want to start with this? Two games.
I want to start with how do we become Dolphin fans? Like, what's the transition like?
They have the same record as us, and they've had 2 different guys start at quarterback.
So how do we sign up for this? Is it a club? Is it some sort of do we need to apply? Is there
you got to grow a beard? Yeah.
I just realized it's the Fitzmagic beard.
Yeah. Oh, Is there some sort of like sorority rush that we have to do? Do we have to complete some challenges? How do we become Dolphin fans? If any Dolphin fans out there watching right now, let me know how to join your club.
Yeah, I tell you, they at this point they probably have a better chance of making the playoffs than we do.
Yeah.
We're coming into a very much needed bye week. Hopefully, they're going to get some things straightened out in their heads. I don't know, but I feel like the last 2 games that we've played, we've had bad starts. And the surprising part about that is we've talked multiple times on the show over the past weeks how we've had great starts. Like our first drive was great for it felt like the first 6 or 7 games of the season, but now on both sides of the football, man, we're having horrible quarters and putting ourselves into holes we can't dig out of.
Yep, 3 and out on offense and just giving up the booty on defense. It's terrible.
Well, I know Javi's got something to say, so I'd like to hear it.
Javi, what you got, buddy?
Well, man, let me tell you something. I'm very upset. I'm very shocked because we started out pretty well. But at the same time, I think a lot of this started coming around the Vegas, going against the Raiders.
That's a game we won.
Turning it around, the first half was pretty tough, was pretty horrible actually against the Raiders.
He's coming in and out.
Yeah, I think he's having Wi-Fi issues.
Well, I think he's got teenagers in the house playing Fortnite, and they're killing his download. They're messing with his internet availability.
Yeah.
So hey, real quick before I forget, I drove over here. I was just with B-Love and the Chief at the Chief's house watching the game, and I thought about a couple of things. We had a couple of fans reach out to us, and I just wanted to acknowledge them real quick. One, Kat, thank you, love you for watching the show. Scotty O, thank you for watching the show. And who was the other one? There was another person I thought that we mentioned when we were talking. I can't recall. Of course, Matty Hill. We saw Matty Hill today. For all of you who've been wondering where Matty Hill's been, we just had dinner with him and watched the Bucs game. And as a matter of fact, this is the second game in a row he's been with us, and this is 2 losses in a row.
Show though,
I'm not trying to say he's the opposite of a lucky foot, but a rabbit's foot, but maybe Matt.
Yeah, there's something to be about that. Matt, you're not invited to the next football game.
Just kidding, Matt. I'd rather the Bucs lose every game and have you as a friend than I would the Bucs win. So,
especially because I want to get that thing on my ceiling done.
Always looking for help. So
Let's do last week's pick.
You just want to talk about last week's picks?
Let's talk last week real quick.
Oh, he wants to go right into the picks.
Yeah.
All right, looks like Javi's trying one more time. Should we try Javi one more time? He just logged back in.
That's right.
Javi, did you get the kids to log off of Modern Warfare?
Yeah, they're all done, man. That's been done. So, anyways, back what I was saying. I was pick up where I left off. So
you might want to restart over. We didn't hear anything you said.
Yeah, last thing you said, we heard you say was it started around the Vegas game.
It started around the Vegas game, especially in the first half. But we turned it around, made some adjustments, and we ended up winning that game by like 2 possessions or something, right? So we go into the Giants game, and everybody, I know you guys are thinking we're gonna run over the Giants. This is gonna be an easy game. All the analysts across the board are talking about we're gonna score 40 points. Our defense is gonna hold them to 10. What happened? We barely pulled that game through. Then we go into the Saints game. Again, all across the panel, analysts are saying Buccaneers are going to win. Tom Brady's not going to let Drew Brees beat him again. And what happened? We got smacked. So it's obvious that we are good against the run. You're not going to run on us. Doesn't matter. I mean, we could probably stop Derrick Henry for all we know. But you can pass. You can throw on us. Our secondary is not very good. They're very young. And, I mean, Carlton Davis, you saw today, got smacked by Tyreek Hill. And if you remember against the Bears, Allen Robinson showed him out too. So
yeah, that's a good point.
We need a lot of help in the secondary. And, I mean, you can really see what Vita Vea not being there is what he was doing there. I mean, it just turned everything around for us as far as the defense.
Well, it seems to me that most of the plays that the Buccaneers are getting beat on are across the middle. You know, the ones on the outsides, yeah, I see it. Tyreek Hill's beat a lot of corners on the outside. He's probably the fastest guy in the league at this point. He's beaten a lot of players, and of course, Patrick Mahomes with his mobility and escapability are fooling corners and safeties into coverages they don't want to be in to get that isolation so that Tyreek Hill can get those one-on-one matchups he's looking for. So those happen. I'm not as concerned with that as I am the plays across the middle. Todd Kelce getting open with no one around for 10 yards, that's an issue. And that's been happening week after week after week.
It looks like
hold on. Do you guys think that's happening because of the scheme that we're running, personnel, or because we're blitzing? And I just want to say something about the blitz. If you start sending 5-6 people against the quarterback, that only leaves you with, maybe 5 or 6 people in coverage. What do you think?
Yeah, well, if I think the two of those are going hand in hand, the scheme and the blitzing, because the blitzing is part of the scheme. So two of those answers are the same to me. And I think that is the case. I think Todd Bowles' scheme is to apply pressure with the front, which is what, as Buccaneer fans, we were asking for because it was exposing the secondary. But now it seems like they're out of position in the secondary more or less than being overmanned or overpowered. So
I think it has something. Go ahead, Hubert. Finish your thought.
No, I don't know what the answer is.
I think it has something to do with it's become predictable. You look at the first couple of games of the season, we were getting to the quarterback. Those quarterbacks were making bad decisions. Our secondary actually looked pretty decent. But to Javi's point right now, our pass defense, it doesn't matter whether it's the deep ball. It doesn't matter whether it's a 5-yard play. Shoot, at this point, the worst play in football, the screen, probably gets you enough yards for a first down against us. And I think part of that is because, I think earlier in the season, I don't know what it looks like now, but we were blitzing on something like 67, 68% of plays. Well, now teams are scheming for that. Their quarterbacks are preparing coming to play the Bucs. Hey,
Absolutely.
You don't have time to throw the ball. I mean, look how fast Mahomes was getting rid of the ball today.
Yeah.
Even Taysom Hill, who hasn't had a start at quarterback since God knows when, last week, was it last week we played the Saints?
Yes.
On Monday Night Football, he was too. And today, just more of the same.
Yeah, look, today Mahomes throws a 3-yard pass. They run for 8 yards, first down.
Yeah.
We're playing so far back.
Monday night, Jared Goff and Cooper Kupp look like world beaters. They look fantastic.
He looked like Joe Montana back there. Especially when you complete 39 passes, I think it was.
Yep. So the secret sauce is out. I think you might be right. The tape is out there. Other offensive coordinators are able to scheme against Todd Bowles. I don't know if it's his preparation for the game and him showing his secondary what they need to see from the quarterbacks that they're about to play. If it's just them being unprepared, or if it's a talent thing. It doesn't seem to be talent because, like you said, the first couple of weeks they looked fantastic.
Their scheme is get rid of the ball in less than 2.5 seconds. That's what you need to do. 2.5 seconds. On the
plus side, we saw a couple things tonight that we were looking for. Number one, we saw Rojo run the ball, and he had a really nice yard. I think it was like somewhere around 50-yarder. Okay. Number two, we saw him hitting receivers underneath. We saw Cameron Brate. We saw the Gronk. We saw him throw to Tyler Johnson. He didn't catch it. But, those were, 7-8-yard passes that you have to be able to complete. And we weren't even attempting them in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, but one of the things I kind of picked up on tonight was, you're right, Chief, a lot of those plays are there on those short passes. But we've also proven we can't throw the deep ball, or we can't complete that 20, 30-yard completion. So today you see a lot of Mike Evans one-on-one against a quarterback or a safety because it's not a high percentage play that we're going to complete. So you can keep your secondary and your linebackers in for those short plays. There was a lot of plays that hit guys in the hands that were incomplete passes, or just flat out incomplete passes on some of those short plays too. So again, I think that the tape is out a little bit on that. I will say one of the things that I was surprised to see today, Shady McCoy. I mean, he got in the game.
Yeah, first time in how many weeks? 6 weeks?
That's a little bit of a joke, but
Yeah.
I didn't know he was still on the team.
He went in for one snap.
One snap.
I know. Well, now we know he's still on the team.
It was not. It was to change his name to Decoy McCoy. That was just a decoy.
Yeah, I think that you're right too, Javi. I think on the we are seeing Vita Vea how valuable he really is. There in the middle, and our guys. Although I believe we could get a decent pass rush with our front four, they're not getting to the quarterback without the blitz.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I will say we're close. Like we're like right there, but not enough to do damage. You know what I mean?
So I've been thinking about this for a week or so, and I understand that Brady is the GOAT, but I'm going to change his name because I believe Brady requires the discipline that Belichick brought. So I'm not calling him the GOAT anymore. I'm going to call him the Billy Goat.
Oh my gosh, that's
I go with
incredibly disrespectful.
That's not, no. What was disrespectful was Tyreek Hill doing a backflip in the end zone today.
That was
That's
disrespectful.
disrespectful.
Yeah.
No.
Dude should have got
Brady the Billy Goat.
Hey, Clifford, go beyond that. How about picking up the phone and yelling at the fans? They need help. They need help.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he said help's on the way.
Help's on the way.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think so. Going back to this is probably the point that you're making, Chief, with a little bit of humor. But I look at the last two games, we got out coached. Okay, so we were in it in the fourth quarter in both of these last two games because we were able to make the appropriate adjustments to get back into the game and have an opportunity close to the game. But these last two games were a tale of the first half. We got our butts whooped, and that is coaching. That is the coach having the wrong game plan or the team being unprepared or a combination of both.
No, I believe you on that. Our defense was definitely out of position that entire first quarter. So
yeah. Javi, what other thoughts do you got?
Who's coaching who? I mean, is Tom Brady coaching Byron Leftwich? I mean,
that's a good
who's
question.
ultimately? Cliff and I talked a little bit about this on the golf course the other day. You got Byron Leftwich is the offensive coordinator, but Cliff says ultimately it's Tom's decisions and what's going on out there. I mean, so are we blaming Tom for some of these mistakes, or do you blame Byron Leftwich or even Bruce BA? I mean,
well, some of those Tom's
today that got intercepted, I don't think he should have thrown and just took the sack.
No, and that's been par for the course. He has made some overthrows, he's made some underthrows, he's made some misreads, and I do believe Byron Leftwich does hold a lot of the accountability with some of the play calling. Some of these third and shorts that they're not running for, and they're throwing low percentage passes.
Oh man, it's like third down is gut wrenching for me. I don't know how many different third downs we had tonight that were third and short. Nobody in the backfield and we're in the shotgun.
Yep.
Come on.
And
everybody knows you're going to throw underneath on 3rd and 2.
Yep.
There was a play there that we were, I want to say, around the 7-yard line, and Brady rolled out a little bit and then throws a dump pass to Fournette when you have 3 Chiefs right there. But if you go down, you look another 5 yards in the end zone, Gronk's open. Then you can't win football games. At the half, Kansas City had 11 first downs. 11 to our 1.
Yep.
How do you keep up with that?
Well, yeah, the Chiefs look like the Super Bowl champs that they are. That's all there is to it. But the Buccaneers also made the Rams look like Super Bowl champs as well. on Monday night. So that's where my problem is. This is a consistent problem. They're making the same mistakes. They don't seem to be improving on those mistakes, and that's where I have a problem.
Yeah,
I'm
I think the
scared.
frustrating.
Right now. Go ahead, Brian.
No, go ahead, Javi.
I'm scared of the Vikings. I'm scared of the Lions still. And I'm scared that we're going to split with the Falcons.
The Lions don't have a coach or a
GM.
You watch.
Well, here's to your point. This was what I was going to say, Javi. They are the best worst team in the NFL. You're absolutely right. We still have to play them twice.
Exactly.
Yep. So Javi, you're taking some heat in the comments section here, bro.
What do I got?
Bobby says you boil your ribs.
That's a lie.
It's a lie. I've actually witnessed you boiling ribs, so I'm going to say that he's 100% right.
All right.
Let's see what we got here. What was this? Oh, wait, what's that? It was something else.
I'm getting roasted here, huh?
Yeah. What was this? Oh, never mind. I'm sorry.
About beloved shirt.
Huh? Oh, he's saying that it's
this right here.
It's high on football.
This is the official annual Man Event Turkey Trot shirt. This was the winning entry in best costume.
Is that the one that Pooh didn't go to?
I wasn't in town. I wasn't in town for it. Okay,
he blasted you, Pooh Bear. He blasted you. I was like, oh, Beloved didn't do it.
I'm sure. That's the kind of heat I take on a day-to-day basis.
Listen, Pooh Bear was still.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. This is what it said. It said, Tyreek Hill burned defensive backs like Javi burns briskets.
Wow.
Which again.
Wow.
Oh, man.
I don't know who this Mark Hodges guy is, but I'm going to call him a liar. Like I said, I've never had anything that this guy has made that wasn't good. He's like the goat of barbecue. He's the Tom Brady of barbecue.
No, because I'm a Billy Goat. Can't call me that.
Don't call me the Billy Goat.
Yeah, Javi, I'm with you. I think that we've got a tough road to go here. I think we got a couple of tough matchups. The bye can't come at a better time. They've got to figure some things out. But you go back and what are we 7-5 now? Are we 7-5?
7-5.
So we're 7-5. We haven't beat anybody good other than Green Bay.
Do you want to hear one? Was that a fluke? Or was that Vita Bay?
It was a pretty solid beatdown.
So that's not a fluke.
It was a pretty solid beatdown. They matched up well against the Chargers. There was the struggling.
We came back against the Chargers, Pooh Bear. Remember, we never had.
Yeah, I do, but in the Chargers, their record doesn't depict it. They lost the Bills today, but I think they're a better team than what their record shows. They're a young team that's learning how to win on the fly.
Very young.
I thought Vegas was a pretty decent team at the time. They don't seem to be as good now. So yeah, you guys this may be a 500 team we're looking at, and
this could be. And a lot of people pinned this team as an 8-8 team to start the season.
Yep, and that may be. I mean, we just may have to suck it up and put our paper bags on our heads and say, hey, this is a 500 team.
Yeah. So
I'm roasting over here thinking 500 teams.
Listen, do you have the good pink smoke ring on them?
No.
He's never seen a smoke ring.
Right, so listen,
Mark Hodges says he's never seen a smoke ring.
I'm going to move away from football just a minute because I've got to ask a question because I feel that Javi is, of the four of us, the resident expert on this.
Oh, I know exactly where he's going, and I think he is.
Did you watch Tyson versus Jones last night?
Of course I did.
Well, tell us what you saw.
First of all, Tyson won. There was no draw there, my opinion. Tyson won, no draw. Second of all, Roy Jones was gassed after the second round, and he made it known. Third, this was more of a concert more than boxing. I mean, it was entertaining to some degree, especially the fight prior to that, where you had the YouTube star Jake Paul fighting Nate Robinson, the 3-time slam dunk champion, and knocked him out cold. Put him to sleep. If you guys don't know, in the second round, put him to sleep.
Hey, Chief, the slam dunk champion comes from the NBA. Hold on, we got to explain to Chief. We got to explain to Chief what the slam dunk champion.
For 11 years.
It doesn't have anything to do with tennis. The slam dunk, grand slams, or Denny's. This is basketball. Just so you know.
I knew that because I immediately got tired. So.
Okay.
Okay.
And was a little disappointing. I mean, there was a lot of drug use in there throughout the course, and it just kind of went a little off base a little bit than just really concentrating on boxing. But I'm gonna tell you what.
So Jones Jr. did not come into the ring in shape. That's basically kind of what you said.
He was 210 pounds. He looked better than me. But what was so funny is Snoop Dogg was commentating. And he goes, it looks like I got two uncles fighting at one of our backyard barbecues. It was, and it did look like that. They grabbed each other, they pushed each other. And he goes,
did Tyson?
You hear Snoop Dogg say, "Hey, Grandma, uncles are fighting again." When the next ring started,
oh my gosh!
So
did Tyson? Did he look good at all? Did he look like
Tyson?
Because he's talking about how he. He's talking about how I saw him somewhere. I read that it like renewed his love for boxing and being a competitor. I mean, not that at his age he could really do that, but did he look good?
Yeah, he did. He lost 100 pounds, beloved. He was 320, and then when he started to do this, I guess in 9 months, lost 100 pounds. He got down to 220, which is where he kind of stayed, where he fought back in 15 years ago. He was on 220. So wore the same short black shorts with the towel cut with the hole. And Jim Gray had said to him, "So Tyson, Mike, what are you going to do when you get in there? You know, there's supposed to be no knockout." He goes, "Well, I'm going to protect myself at all times, and I'm going to throw punches with bad intentions. That's what I'm going to do." And
bad intentions.
That's what he did. I think he's going to fight again, guys. I don't know who is it going to be, but it's.
Well, listen, he lost 100 pounds in 9 months. So first of all, Ashley, you're fired.
He's 54 years old.
54, really?
That's the Chiefs' age.
Hey, I heard that he got paid $10 million for that fight.
He probably did.
Yeah.
I don't know what
I
the
would
person
fight again
is,
too.
but it was supposed to go to charity, from what he said, because he created this thing called League of Legends.
Yeah, it's going to go to the Mike Tyson feed Mike Tyson charity is what I'm trying to say.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was entertaining to watch still is what you're saying, Javi.
Yeah, I wanted to see a knockdown or a knockout. It didn't come. But, I mean, listen, 54 years old and 51. Roy Jones is 51. They brought the match down to 8 rounds for 2-minute rounds instead of 3-minute rounds. So that helped them out. Because I don't know if they would have lasted 3 minutes. I will tell you this much. Tyson looked like he could go. He said he was ready to go 3-minute rounds for 12. He was ready. Roy Jones was the one that wasn't ready, but Tyson was.
Yeah, I don't really, I've never really watched a whole lot of boxing. I know from being friends with you, I get the impression that a lot of people think it's a little bit rigged. Boxing, that there's some, like you're already arguing the split decision. But there's been a lot of cases in boxing over the last decade that have similar decisions to that.
Absolutely.
In fact, I will say I did watch that boxing match that involved that MMA guy. What was that MMA guy with all the tattoos? He likes to.
Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor.
And who did he fight?
Floyd Mayweather.
I did watch that. Yeah, I did watch that. And Conor McGregor, and I don't know anything about boxing, but he was like, you should have let me finish the fight. You should have let me finish the fight. But,
that was a good stoppage to me.
He was out boxing the entire fight. Yeah, he was done. So.
He was done.
All right.
They needed to stop that fight. Floyd would have hurt him.
Yeah. So let's get into the picks. Pooh Bear, do you have our picks from last week by chance?
I do not, because remember, I was in a hotel lobby. You recorded the picks down.
I do not remember them.
Wow.
So maybe we're not going to talk about last week's picks.
Okay, let's start with the Steelers game. which was postponed, I believe, until Tuesday night.
Tuesday.
So everybody got that one right.
Okay.
There we go. Okay. The Panthers and Vikings. I know I picked the Vikings. Did anybody pick the Panthers?
I'm pretty sure I would have picked the Vikings because I knew McCaffrey wasn't going to play.
And I may have picked the Panthers just to be contrary to everyone else if they picked the Vikings, but
that sounds like something you would do.
It does sound like something I would do.
TSG also picked the Panthers. So that's one for TSG down. The Raiders and the Falcons. Dude, listen. The Raiders scored 3 points last week. Excuse me, not the Raiders. The Falcons scored 3 points last week. I know for a fact I picked the Raiders this week over the Falcons, who came out and put up 43 points. I mean, where does that come from?
I picked the Falcons for sure.
So I know I picked the Raiders. B-Love says he picked the Falcons.
I just know I picked the Falcons because I agree with Javi. They're the best, worst team in football.
They're the best, worst team.
And their record is not showing that now, though, right? What is their record now?
They're 4-7, I believe.
4-7.
Okay. Well, maybe it does show that, but they are definitely playing much, much better under Raheem than they were under the other guy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm pretty sure the TSG picked the Raiders. So that makes him 0-2.
All right, TSG is actually on the line, and he said he picked Minnesota.
Yeah, he's not live, so we're just gonna go with the other one. And then the fourth game was the Browns and the Jaguars. So let's just go ahead and say you picked the Jags.
I had to have the Browns.
I know I had the Browns for sure.
So does that mean we give the wig to Javi?
The what?
Yeah, I think Javi would have to wear the wig.
I would love to see Javi with the wig today.
Look at that clean cut.
Javi, is that a fresh
I did it
fade?
today. Hey, I love it, man. It's a lot of maintenance.
Wow,
Every 2 days,
I officially have the most hair on this broadcast right now.
Well, you sure did.
Look at that.
Woo!
Woo!
Pooh Bear, how did the
What's that
Thanksgiving
hair?
turkey hats go?
Great. Did you see the one? Well, the ones that we wore on the trip. Yeah, they didn't get worn. Yeah, they were kind of forgotten about and put in the suitcase, and they didn't make an appearance.
Worn on the main event, though.
Well,
they did get worn on the main event.
What the one did get worn on the main event. You will see in the upcoming main event Thanksgiving vlog that I'm going to put together tomorrow night. Why I kind of forgot about the Thanksgiving turkey hat. We were a little busy.
Yeah.
We were a little busy that day. Huh?
You look like a pilgrim?
Yeah. So my daughter's chiming in here. She says, we didn't even wear them. Yeah, you're right. We forgot about them. I bought them for her. She was the genesis of the idea to buy those. But you know what? They don't expire. We can wear them again next year. Heck, we can wear them for Christmas if we have turkey on Christmas Day.
They don't expire. You're right. Hey, so listen, let me shift gears a little bit here. Chief, you just brought up the Steelers game being postponed to what now, Tuesday night? So this is how I know COVID has a significant impact on the NFL. It is ruining my fantasy football season.
Yeah.
Right. Now, this morning, I set my team up on Thursday morning because, the week starts with the Thursday games on Thanksgiving Day or whatever the Thursday game is every week. I'm good to go. My lineup set. For whatever reason, about 12:30 this afternoon, I said, you know what? I just need to take a look at my fantasy roster real quick.
Yeah,
I had to pick up players. For today because of guys who are on the COVID list.
Yep.
Who'd you drop, love? Maybe I can get some. I'm out of it. It's over with for me.
He's giving up.
Listen,
so that's how I know that COVID is affecting the NFL.
Injuries.
We had
injuries.
Yeah, we had the conversation, when baseball was going on, is do the Dodgers get an asterisk, next to their World Series championship for only playing a 60-game regular season? Like, listen, today the Denver Broncos played without a quarterback.
Right.
Without a quarterback.
I think they brought in the kicker from Vanderbilt to come be their quarterback.
Oh, that's terrible. You need to apologize for that.
Wow.
That ain't right.
What? He had COVID too. That's why the girl had to come in and kick.
Listen, if she can play, I don't mind her being out.
Broncos had put Royce Freeman as their quarterback.
They did. They brought in their practice squad player to come in.
Did you guys see that they petitioned to the league to let their offensive, not coordinator, but like quality control coach
Yes, I heard that.
play quarterback because they felt that his knowledge of the offense gave them a better chance to win than some guy who actually plays quarterback.
How old is that guy, by the way?
That guy's not ready. You can't do that. You can't.
But
Dude, he would have got killed.
Well, not only that, it was disallowed because he's not a rostered player.
Yeah,
Well,
which is smart. I agree with that because essentially what that says is if they would allow that to happen, teams could sign players to be coaches.
Right.
Hey, listen,
And then just input them into the active roster.
It's happened before, beloved, in baseball. Pete Rose.
Oh, and in baseball, it happened all the time. That's why it's, you had a player manager. And that's exactly right. They would have players or managers that could still play the game, and they would come in from time to time to play. But that hasn't happened since the 70s, I don't believe.
Yeah,
So here's what I'm saying, like this affects the NFL. And this is what, like, I'm going to make this argument as a Bucs fan. Today, the no quarterback Broncos play the New Orleans Saints. We desperately need some people to start beating the Saints to give us some playoff hopes. But there's no way that's going to happen when they're playing teams that are decimated by players on the COVID roster.
Right.
The Broncos should have sent the trade out to grab Jameis while he's sitting on the bench. The Broncos should have grabbed Jameis.
They'd have been better off letting Tim Tebow come back and play quarterback. It just seems it's messy. It's just messy.
It is messy.
And to me, I don't see how it's fair to the Broncos for the NFL to not postpone that game, but they postpone the Steelers game.
Right.
Look, let's face it, the Broncos are not going to beat the Steelers with a quarterback or without a quarterback. So I don't think that the Broncos are really that upset about that game. Now, next week, the Saints play the Falcons. Who knows what's going to happen on that one?
I'm a Falcon fan next week.
We are picking that game.
I might even wear a Falcon shirt.
Yeah, well, hey, you're a Raheem guy. You loved Raheem when he was here.
He was good. I liked Raheem. He couldn't coach, but he was personable and
10
stuff.
wins.
He had a 10-6 season with a bunch of guys we don't
with Josh Freeman, babe. With Josh Freeman.
With a bunch of guys we don't know, and we're going to go possibly 8-8 with a bunch of Pro Bowl wide receivers, a Pro Bowl tight end, and the GOAT as quarterback.
I mean, Hall of Famers.
The Billy Goat. I'm sorry, the Billy Goat.
Hall of
Famers, probably, yeah.
Mike Evans is Hall of Fame. 7 years, 1,000. Yeah, he's got it.
Well, he's irrelevant.
Well,
other than the 10 touchdowns.
You know what I wish?
Relevant today, 2 touchdowns.
I wish Mike Evans or Tom Brady was mic'd up because I really would have loved to hear the conversation they had with each other. That quick clip of Brady talking to Mike Evans, and Evans wasn't even looking at Brady when they talked. If you saw it,
no, I know, yeah.
There's somebody making eye contact. There's something going on there.
I'll tell you what they said. Mike Evans said, "I'm open." I mean, that's all receivers say. They say, "I'm open."
I would have said, "Hey, I'm open."
You're
I'm
right,
open on every play, man.
2 touchdowns after that.
I'm open on every play. So, hey, it's like, so the Detroit Lions have no head coach, no GM. The Broncos have no quarterback.
Jacksonville just fired their
Jaguars have no GM.
Their GM.
Ooh, and the Raiders have no fans. How about
that? Wow.
I mean, in the stadium, not, there's some guys out there with some shirts on somewhere.
Oh, well, how about San Francisco's out to have to look for a place to play their home games?
Yes.
Oh,
because
go ahead, Pooh Bear.
Because their county or their local municipality declared that those gatherings were no longer legal. So they were going to ban fans from gathering in the stadium. So now the 49ers, and they're not apparently allowed to play in the stadium. They're going to have to find a new place to play.
Yeah, not only can they not, they couldn't just say, hey, no fans in those stadiums.
So
the county is saying no contact sports.
Correct.
So is that because
they're going to have to find.
Is that because of
Chris
COVID?
Peters chiming in?
Because they're just saying
I haven't seen Chris in about 1,000 years.
Period.
I haven't either. It's because of COVID. So the local municipality has said that because of the outbreak of the newest coronavirus outbreak in their area, they're going to limit any of that kind of stuff. So any gatherings, any contact sports, So that essentially the 49ers are no longer allowed to play in the area. They must find a new place to play.
That's
Wow.
insane.
Listen, so COVID is like killing the NFL, like Israelis are knocking off Iranians.
Whoa.
Dude, that is
Chief, did you
legit,
see
though.
this week?
Yes. I saw that they assassinated the head nuclear scientist for Iran. It's apparently like the 5th member of the nuclear program that the Israelis have taken out in 10 years. And I read about a raid that they made on their safe where they keep their top secret material. A bunch of Israeli commandos went in there with some sort of laser torches and cut right through the safe, like sabers, and took out the papers and ran them home. So apparently, Benjamin Netanyahu, he has said, with or without America, he doesn't care. Iran will not have nuclear weapons. But right now, according to the Israelis, Iran has 12 times the amount of enriched uranium that they were allowed to have under whatever the treaty is. So
I mean, I tell you what I didn't realize that Israeli intelligence was that good, or their special forces were.
Dude, listen, Israel is nothing to be messed with. Their Air Force, their defense forces essentially
And they
are,
make good
if they're not the number one as far as defense and offense, I don't know who they're not the largest. Obviously, United States, China, Russia, they're all going to have a larger military presence. But when it comes to precision and execution, the Israelis are nothing to mess with.
Dude, they get the job done. Mossad, right? That's what they call them.
That might be the bad guys, but
Dude,
maybe
I
it is.
Size for Israel. Dude, they
Maybe
got
it is.
fingers in everything.
Yeah.
Did we offend Javi? He just walked
No.
off set.
And
Did the Israelis get them?
they're like ninjas because we didn't even see them come. What was it, Chief? You sent me a text today, something about one of these foreign governments' parliament. They were throwing like pig guts at each other.
Oh my gosh!
Like in Congress.
Dude, okay. So in Taiwan, they were having an argument about importing pig from the United States. Okay, anyway, it turned out into a big brawl. They went to fisticuffs, and then someone, I don't know, how do you get this stuff into Parliament? I don't know. It was 5-gallon buckets of pig guts. And I'm talking about all the intestines, the heart, the liver, lung, everything. They're just winging them at each other. And the best part about it is, as dysfunctional as the United States is, there are other people out there that are worse than us.
Oh well, listen, I might keep up with politics a little bit better if they're going to get into fights like that.
oh my gosh.
That sounds way more interesting than the stuff that we
Could
see.
you imagine Mitch McConnell throwing big guts, Nancy Pelosi?
Man, listen.
man.
Listen, first of all, pigs are delicious.
Yes.
Like pulled pork, bacon, ribs.
Yes.
Pigs are delicious.
Keep going. Don't stop there.
What'd you say, Javi?
pork belly burn ends.
Pork belly burn ends, ham. I did a wicked ham on the Kamado Joe for Thanksgiving. It was on point.
Kamado.
Well, listen, speaking of like Jedi type stuff, like the Israeli Special Forces, the guy who played Darth Vader, rest in peace.
The actual actor.
The actor who played Darth Vader.
Not the voice.
Passed away.
Not the voice. That would be
Not the
James
voice.
Earl Jones.
So who that guy is?
No, we were talking about
He's
this.
the biggest bad guy in the world that we've ever seen, and no one knows who he is. I don't know who he is.
Right. It's very strange because we were talking before how, we all know, well, at least us Star Wars nerd type people know that, Anthony Daniels is the actor that plays C-3PO. He's the person inside the suit. We know that there is a little person that is inside R2-D2. I could pick him out in pictures. I don't really know his name. The guy that played Chewbacca, we could pick him out. The newest guy that plays Chewbacca, because there's a new one in the newer series. But I never heard this guy's name. Like I never heard, of him. And I don't know, maybe that was by design. Maybe he didn't like the limelight. But essentially he just got the role because of his size. As a matter of fact, in Return of the Jedi, when Darth Vader actually saves Luke Skywalker from the Emperor and dies, his final death, his mask comes off, and that is a different actor than the one that actually just died.
A different dude.
So essentially, there's
people that think that guy's dead. You know,
right,
like family members and stuff like that. They're like, "Oh my gosh, Darth Vader's dead. Dad's dead." Or
oh my
Grandpa's
God,
dead.
Uncle Bob died. No. That was the other guy. They're like Mufasa? No, the other guy. The other guy.
Well, listen, you brought up Chewbacca. Star Wars, they do these, they've done all these like spin-offs, and they did the one on Solo, not too long ago. They should do one on Chewbacca. Like, I want to know the background of Chewbacca.
Oh gosh.
There'd be no
script for that. It's gonna go.
There'd be no word. It'd be subtitles.
No. So eventually you merge them. Eventually, you merge the subtitles into them speaking English.
Well, they're supposed to do some. They should do that. Good point. They're supposed to come out with little movies to show Yoda and to show Boba Fett's backstories. So
that's called The Mandalorian.
Which is a good show. And they came out with the little Yoda, Baby Yoda's name this week, and I'm not gonna.
Oh, really? Hey, you ruined it. I haven't watched it yet.
He's got a name, and it comes out.
Man, I haven't watched Friday's episode yet.
And it's not Yoda.
It's the child. Is it the child?
Not even close.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a huge fan of it, but rest in peace, Darth.
Yeah. Yep.
Who loves Star Trek?
Whoever
He
you
was
are.
always saying, "Beam me up, Scotty."
I do not like Star Trek.
Yeah, you did.
No,
you
I'm
said
not.
you love Spock. I remember you saying that in the gym one time. We were on the treadmill.
Whoa, you were in the gym, Javi?
Come
Yeah,
on,
long
man.
time.
This story's getting more believable by the minute.
We went to athletic fitness.
All right, now wait a minute. If you're talking about the latest rendition of the movie, I do like the Chris Pine versions. Those movies are good. The original 60s series, I hated it. And I have this memory, this childhood memory of hate with it because it was associated with dinner time, and it would come on during dinner time. Same thing with MASH. Oh my gosh, I can hear the theme songs in my head. Those would be the shows that would come on at dinner time, and obviously I associate dinner time with something bad. That's why I look so good. But yeah, for whatever, I just hated the theme song. I hated the show. I never watched the show. No, you were wrong. I'm calling you out as a liar on national YouTube television. I never said that.
You're talking about dinner. It's got me wondering what's for dinner tomorrow night. I'm already looking forward to dinner tomorrow night.
Who's got leftover turkey and ham left, huh?
I got a lot of ham, not a whole lot of turkey. Are you looking for some, Pooh Bear?
I would like to try some of that ham. I did not get to partake in the traditional American Thanksgiving dinner, so I'm missing that. I would like to take part in that. So if you got some ham left over,
2 days after Thanksgiving, it already starts to change taste. Doesn't matter how much gravy you put on it. I'll tell you that right now.
What is that noise?
It's the MASH theme. I hate it.
That was Cliff's favorite song.
Oh my gosh! I can see the freaking helicopter coming in.
Hey! Cliff's playing that song because he had a crush on Hot Lips.
Probably.
Oh man!
Yikes!
Javi, did you hear my introduction of you this morning or the beginning of the show?
Yes. Wait a second. We gotta go back to this one. Matty O is talking about the.
Man.
That is right. The Mookin-Tookin. He took out the Mookin-Tookin.
Took me a minute.
Don't mess. That was such an underrated movie.
I might have missed your intro. I heard B-Love saying it before you put me in because I did get cut off.
No,
What did you say? I cheated in golf?
No, I did not. I just said that.
I
said, you know him as from the NFL Draft Day special and as a judge on the 4th of July State Day. I know him as the guy who hit 6 houses on the golf course yesterday.
Dang it, man. Okay, so now we want to go there.
Well, we're about to find out how many houses Chief hit.
Hey, we got to do our picks for next week. Let's get this going. Hey, I got good news for you.
Look, I muted him. I muted him.
The house you hit was empty. It was not occupied.
Javi's on mute.
I muted him. Oh man.
Let me tell you what the Chief did. You guys want? I wish I had video. If I had video, I'll send it to you right now. So Cliff and his brain team, he goes, Javi, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go around this tree, and we're 270 yards out from the green. And so me and my son Alex are in the same cart, and Alex says to me, he taps my shoulder, Dad, watch this. I go, what? Cliff, boom, hits the tree in front of him, comes right back at him. He goes, oh, darn it, Jim, because that's his new thing. Everything's darn it, Jim. So then he goes, all right, I'm going to try again. Got under and hit the same tree again on another limb. And we were just dying in the cart.
Hey, after he hit the ball the third time, what you say is, hey, water. Chief, he goes, man, Chief, I want you to aim at the tree. Try to hit the tree.
Yes.
Well, he went around the tree and went in the pond. And he goes, where'd I hit it? He goes, yeah, I did it. I hit it really good. I go, Cliff, I'm not lying to you. It went in the water. I'll take an 8. I'll take an 8.
And at that point, you just picked up your ball and got back in the car.
Yeah, he was done. He was, I'm done.
I'm gonna steal Javi's thunder. I'm gonna tell myself here. Hole 1, I'm 50 yards from the green. But I am across the cart path. All I gotta do is hit a little low burner because obviously I'm under a tree again. And so I don't know, it's 4-iron or something like that. I'm not gonna hit it too hard. Dude, I hit the freaking 4-iron. There's a lip on the cart path. Dude, it hits the lip and it goes up over my head backwards.
Well, hold up. Let me make it interesting. So where he was in between the street. He goes, man, Javi, I got to do a golf shot here. I said, okay, he's behind a palm tree. He's actually between 2 palm trees at hole 1. Now, mind you, hole 1 has the tunnel that goes under the main drag. So you kind of got like a bridge above your head there. He couldn't get under. He hit the curb of the cart path. And when he hit that lip, the ball shot up about 40 feet, went behind the hedges onto the bridge. I didn't think he could find it. Next thing you know, I'm like, Cliff, where are you? Cliff, he already walked up the hill behind the hedges and then pulled a shot out of his rump. I hear it hit a tree or something and fell in front of the green. He had to do a couple of chip shots, but hole 1 was dangerous. Hole 1 was dangerous.
Wow. Listen, I saw some guys hit some balls like that at the Masters. We talked about that on the show a couple of weeks ago. So
yeah.
Hey, you're an elite company.
That's right.
All right, so we got just a couple of minutes here left in the show. I always say we get to next week's picks.
Let's do it.
This is all, of course, contingent on the fact that the NFL may or may not COVID cancel, and half the team may not actually be on the roster, and one of these teams may not have a quarterback to play. So
I want to be part of this.
All right, Javi,
I feel bad for people who have bet on these games. Yeah.
Hey, listen, a fool and his money are soon parted. So if you're busy betting on games and you're not sure of the roster, that's your fault. All right, so Javi, you're going to be picking for TSG. So TSG, you got to suck it up, buddy. Next week when Javi's 0-4, you're wearing the wig, pal.
Hey, don't you worry, TSG. I got you.
All right.
Here's the first one. Buccaneers don't win or lose next week.
Yeah, there you go. Undefeated next week. All right. So here's the first game. Saints and the Falcons.
And this is in Atlanta.
Is this in Atlanta?
I mean, they're only separated by an hour by plane anyways.
Okay. All right. So what you got, Chief?
I don't know which Falcons are going to show up, but I need the Falcons that played this week to show up, so I'm going to go ahead and say Falcons.
Interesting.
All right. Okay. Pooh Bear, what you got?
You know, my heart says the Saints are going to win just because their roster's so strong. But, I mean, Taysom Hill does not impress today. He ran for a little bit.
He didn't impress last week either.
No. And so, you know, is now there's 2 weeks of tape for Raheem to show his defense. Do they figure him out? And ATL pulls it out? All right, I'm going ATL. I'm going Atlanta.
I'm going to tell you right
Javi,
now,
what you got?
beloved, Saints are going to win it, and the reason why, their defense. All they got to do is throw 17 points up.
Javi?
Yeah, I'm a little torn on this pick too, because on paper I would tell you that the Saints should absolutely demolish Atlanta with or without
Right.
Drew Brees. They should demolish Atlanta with Jameis Winston at quarterback, which by now, after seeing Taysom Hill for 2 weeks, why not let Jameis play? I don't think Taysom's been particularly impressive. They won the game this week because of his legs,
Right.
not because of him throwing the ball. And we desperately need Atlanta to put a W up on the Saints. So for the sole purpose, if I'm rooting for Atlanta this week, I'm gonna pick them.
Okay.
Well,
All right, the next
I
game.
love the way they're thinking.
The next game we have the Vikings and the Jaguars.
Well, the Jaguars don't have a general manager anymore. They just fired him.
They got Mike Glennon as quarterback.
But they got Mike Glennon at quarterback. I mean, you got to feel like the coach is on the way out. So with the Vikings, Dalvin Cook running the football, I gotta go Vikings.
Pooh Bear?
Yeah, I'm going Minnesota also. I don't feel there's any way Jacksonville can win. They just don't have the squad. Oh, 8 o'clock.
What do you got?
I'm going to go with the Vikings on that one as well. I think they're a dangerous team still. Got to watch out for them. They're strong. They got some decent receivers. Adam Thielen should be back by then. Maybe by the week, maybe next week after that. I don't know. But
Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings.
Wings.
Wow. I mean, I think this is a no-brainer. No commentary necessary. Vikings win.
Yep. Agreed.
All right.
All right, next game.
The Browns and the Titans.
Oh.
By the way, the Cleveland Browns also have a better record than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yes, they do.
The Cleveland Browns have a good running game. They have turned into a complete football team, and I'm going Browns. I'm getting on the Browns train.
The Brown train.
Chief is going Cleveland.
It sounds bad when I say
It does sound
It
bad.
sounded better in my mind than it did.
It did.
Can we edit that out, please?
No.
Go on the Brown train. Well, you know what? I think Tennessee is a team that is capable of winning this game, but this week they did not win against Atlanta. They got pretty much. They did play Atlanta, right? Was it Atlanta? They got throttled. No, Indianapolis. Sorry, they played Indianapolis, and Indianapolis was not good. No, Tennessee won that game. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so what you're talking about.
I'm sorry. It's exact opposite of what I'm saying. Tennessee demolished Indianapolis. That's what I was going with. I had Indianapolis on the brain. It's the blue and white colors. They're both blue and white. I'm confused.
Yeah.
Man, I really want to pick Tennessee on this one, so I'm gonna go Tennessee.
The Browns look good, but not good enough to beat the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans ground game is going to be pound, pound, pound. You're not going to stop a 6'4", 250-pound running back like that. Tannehill looks pretty good. A.J. Brown, I think his name is A.J. Brown, the receiver. He's on fire right now. And I just don't think the Browns defense is going to be good enough to stop this. So, Tennessee.
Okay. So listen, you just heard the clock bell ring that it's 9 o'clock. So we got to get through this fast because the chief is past his bedtime.
You know it is.
So we'll get Sanka, Ma.
What he say?
Who's your pick for Tennessee versus Cleveland, B-Love?
I'm going to go with Tennessee.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Tennessee.
All right. What's our final game?
I only wrote down 3.
Oh, we're not doing 4 this week?
We could do 4. We can do Bengals and Dolphins.
Okay.
All right.
That's an easy one. I'm going Fitzmagic Dolphins.
I was going to say, this is not even a game that's difficult to pick.
Where is that one in Miami?
Yes.
Yeah, Cincinnati's still missing their quarterback, number 1 draft pick, Joe Burrows. The Dolphins are looking good. I think the Dolphins are the best team in Florida when it comes to the NFL.
What about the Florida Gators?
Like I said, the NFL, not the child league.
For
Bobby, what you got?
TSG, it's the Dolphins. Fitzmagic. The Dolphins defense is strong, guys, and underrated right now. They're good and they're coming to their own. That Miami defense is strong.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is an easy game to pick too. Chief said it. The Bengals are without their starting quarterback. Fitzmagic, it's the beard, man. And I think they're playing good. They get a W.
Good deal.
All right, boys.
All right, Pooh Bear.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us, folks. We thank you for watching, especially if you stuck around this long. We really appreciate it. We'll be live again next week at 7 o'clock. I'd like to thank Javier for joining us tonight and filling in for TSG. Some excellent commentary from you, especially when it came to boxing, because we got nothing on that, brother. So, again, we'll see you next week. Have a great week, everyone. Good night.
Night.
Good night.